let's see how it is looking. Yes, apparently it began. Hello Blender folks, welcome and welcome back. I'm Gnomes, and there are a couple of weeks now I haven't been live streaming. Unfortunately, I had some complications, but now I'm back. I'm totally back, and I'm very glad to be back around in this process of live streaming this creative project I'm making. So for this live stream, for this stream here, number 39, sorry, this is about a retake that I need to do on an in the eyelashes rig of this character. So basically you see the eyelashes, these tiny bones here, they are, okay, these are for the right side and these red ones are for the left side. And the larger ones on the BB scale, right, the larger ones, you see they are slightly larger than bolder than the other ones. These are for the bottom eyelashes, and these are the thinnest ones are for the top eyelashes. So if I move the eyelids, these control bones here, you see that the eyelash bone for its respective eyelid moves independently. So same here for the bottom. This is a top one, this is a this is a top one, and this is a bottom one. Okay, so things are not working very smooth here because this is what I need to fix it. It was working very well before, but then I've made some readjustments of the rest position for the character. This is interesting to explain why I have to refix now the eyelashes rig. I have to make adjustments on the, I have to make adjustments on the automation. Otherwise they won't make the shapes of the eyelashes be appropriate according to the pose that I make. So we don't pose manually the eyelash bones in this rig, but we pose the control bones for the eyelids. And actually, if you want to check what's going on here, it's actually, these are handle bones for bendy bones splines. So this is a bendy bone spline, and this is another, and so these are bones for the top eyelid, and so they be controlled like that, right? And however, the automation here is not working anymore because I was making a change. I have made a fundamental change to the rest position of the mesh of the whole eyelid and eyelash meshes. The rest position, originally it was with the eyes closed, and okay, that works, but there was a disadvantage doing that I wasn't really aware until very, very long, is that there was an issue I was never able to solve totally, because this would be a problem for a complicated problem to solve without other systems. So for example, I know shape keys would probably solve it, but I didn't want it to use shape keys, and even if I used, it was not guaranteed it would need to be experimental anyways. The thing is that when the eyelids start closed, just like this, as we open totally the eye, the mesh there, you see these face loops. Of course, here there are the subdivision modifier. Let's just hide it. It will be ugly, but whatever. At least we'll see the original subdivisions. So what was happening was, it's not really something that required to solve, but it was something that for experimentalism it was interesting for me to find a solution for that, and the solution was pretty easy. It was just a change of rest position, because if the rest position of the mesh, the eyelids mesh, was started closed, then as I move this bone up, this control bone up, what would happen is that the edge loops, they would go inside the head, following the eye surface, okay, or the eyeball, whatever was there, and that's okay because we don't see the wireframe. So, but naturally it wouldn't be very good, because let's say if there were some sort of layering, no, sorry, not layer, texture, something that we could track, just like the wireframe on the eyelids mesh, the top eyelid mesh in this case, we would eventually see that it is going inside, and actually it might be going inside anyways, but with the subdivision maybe it gets solved. Let's see here. Yeah, so what happens now is the following. Because the rest position I've changed, is for the eyelids open, although not fully opened apparently, as you see, but because it starts open, this collapsing of the edge loops, it already occurs naturally from the rest position of the mesh. So this is how of course we won't be able to see very well because of the, okay, now, and I better hide the armature as well, so let's see. Okay, and what's that? Oh, this is the other eyebrow that without the mirror modifier it goes anywhere. So okay, so so you see, this is the original starting rest position for the eyelids open, and then it helps so that these edge loops, those edge rings actually, because they loop all around, they are all collapsed already from the rest position, and so I don't have to mechanically make, or organically I don't have to rig it, like I don't have to create mechanics to have these edge rings collapsed this way, because their starting position is already collapsed, so they will work well as I open the eyelids. The mesh would adapt, so it will decollapse, and as I move closer to the original position, it will recollapse, right? So it's like it's a natural thing, a very pretty simple thing. But if we start with the rest position like that, with the thing decollapse, they won't collapse naturally because of wave painting, because of many factors. I would have to create additional mechanisms just to have this recollapsing. So this is extremely interesting. Sorry, in the sense of rigging. So that is why I wanted to tell about that. But doesn't matter anywhere here. This is not the topic of the live stream. The stream now is about the refixing of this automation for the eyelashes. So let's hide these whole contraptions here. I just want to work on one side. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a selection set here. So that will be eyes, whatever, assign, and then I'm going to pick only this side and hide. Okay, then I save. Let's make no, I'm not saving at the backup here. Let's start with this. Okay, let's start to fix this thing. So apparently it's not symmetrical, so there's something. Let's reset pose first. So how I'm going to reassess this? Maybe there is a better. No, this could work, yes, but okay. So there's first the controllers here are a bit strange to work. They are not moving. I think there's some bone constraint here. Copy location, control. I limit distance. Oh, that's the limit distance that is causing some strange posing, I guess. I like this copy location. Don't. Oh, okay. This is an automation for a main bone controller. So okay, so they are all these things are affecting how this thing moves. So, but yeah, you see there's some strange motion. It's not natural. It's trying to. Yeah, this could be annoying for animation, for 3D animation. So maybe I need to find another solution for that. The copy location is the limit distance is the most annoying one, because the limit distance is actually what makes the control bone itself being not going inside the eye, for example. It remains a distance towards it. But then if the problem here is that if it's really annoying for posing, so this is not very good. Maybe I should hide this thing. And the good point though is that even if it's unhidden, I can still they're not gonna be interpenetrations easily, because the mesh is shrink wrapped. The eyelid's mesh is shrink wrapped to the eye surface, or the eye surface, I guess. And so so it's a mesh object shrink wrapped through object modifier through to another target mesh object, the eye surface. It's not an eyeball, it's an eye surface, because this eye is cartoony, it's not realistical. It's if it were to be if this shape would be to be a sphere, it would be gigantic, because and it wouldn't work for the rotations. So it's an impossible anatomy, maybe. So it doesn't matter, it's cartoony anyways, it's impossible design anyways. So here we see what we need here. Sorry, I got lost for a moment. Okay, so I need to, this limit distance are going to difficult my task. So I'm going to hide everything to start with. So yeah, because now I can move, but it won't interpenetrate because the mesh itself it's safe. It won't go inside the eye, even. Oh well, it can go, but you see, it's not that easy. So what we need now is to reassess these bone constraints of the eyelash and the shape of the eyelash. So I'll start with the top eyelash. So if this is the rest pose, this eyelash probably, yes, they are locked. So I probably, no. Okay, it's the copy location, right? So I cannot pose it manually, but this is not so much of a problem, because I will be able to fix this, to visualize what happens directly through the bone constraint. So just in case, yes, you need to know this to follow properly. I guess it's a good idea. So basically the eyelash bone, it's a deformed bone that contains mesh for wave paint for the very slight waves, but they're shear waves. So you see here and here and here and here and here. Okay, so they share these waves, and that's it. And then they are deformed bones, and then they have two bone constraints. They are combo. It's first a copy location, so it copies exactly the location in word space of its. So if I get here, for example, you see it's perfectly copying the location in word space, so that's good. But in addition to that, we have a transformation bone constraint, so you can hide this transformation bone constraint in a mix add, and I mean an add mix that will add up movement or transforms to this bone, the owner bone of this transformation bone constraint, on local space. So this means all this I have on a tutorial, an integrated eyes rig. I've put in the description. There is a fundamentals, which are 5 videos. It's very long and annoying. Don't watch that unless you want to. I've made it so long ago when I was explaining too much the tutorials in the beginning. I was on an introductory method, and then now I don't do that anymore. I go directly to the step by step. And so there is the second link in the video description, which goes directly to the step-by-step section, and it's a very, very long tutorial, and there's only some parts, more like near the end, that will solve actually this part of the eyelash rig. But there are eyelashes construction from mesh to toward until the end. So anyways, let's go back here and let's attempt to solve these automations. So they were already solved, but again the change of the rest position of the eyelids and the eyelashes meshes, they kind of disrupted the automation. So certain things here are ugly. You see, they are not moving properly, so I'll have to reassess this. It will be relatively simple, I guess. I didn't expect that to happen, but it was a risk, yes, to make this change in rest position. So in that case of rest position, I think I even made manually from edit mode on the mesh. I don't remember. Anyways, it was done already. So now I need to, this is a character design matter, right? So I need to get this eyelash bone, as this is upper, this probably should go up. So I believe it's z-axis, which should be pointing up, yes. From edit mode, yes, exactly. It should go up, so it should have a higher max. Wait, what's going on? The arm was moving. Yeah, this is something I don't bother about the rest of the rig. Okay, don't know what was that, but so yes, so it's maximum now. Apparently it's better if it is higher. And yeah, so this is one thing that is annoying, because now I don't have this distance, limit distance, so this can happen as I pose. So I need to find some way to solve that or make this better. Yeah, but anyways, this looks better. Or maybe I make change to the mesh, I don't know. Okay, so now as it goes down, we see that the eyelash in the middle is not going down enough, so maybe it requires lesser value for the minimum. But I don't know how much. Yes, it can extrapolate that way. The important thing is that it looks good. mesh wise. So it's not currently working because the mesh, the wave paint, maybe I thought it's strange why these waves are so little actually for these bones. Is as they were changed. I don't remember these colors for these waves. It really looks like it were normalized, or wait, there's even wrong waves here. This thing seems to have been messed up. I don't know if those waves on the eyelid mesh is correct. Yeah, there sounds to be some issues here. This is annoying, yes, pretty complicated. Need some patience. I'll have to assess this. So I'm not sure, but we're gonna check that indeed. Alright, so apparently, yes, I'll have to go on into my vertex panel, right? Vertex groups panel, where it is, here. And let's see, I have to use those ones. Okay, so the eyelids mesh, or no, let's see, eyelashes. Where it is? Hide. I do not have one for... Okay, so this is for the eyelids border. This is internal. It's not what I... Then yeah, it exists, but it is in the... It's being used already, like here. So let's say mask eyelashes. Don't I have one for the... Yeah, so it is here. This for the bot and this for the top. Okay, so it exists, but it's on a modifier. I want a specialized one for hide, just for hide work. This I forgot when I update. So well, just let's assign here, and then let's sort by name. And okay, so now this is hide number 2, the eyelashes. Yes. Okay, and then let's lock. Let's see if the selection is right. Yes, so it just selects the external edge loop, and this is the only things that should receive wave painting from the eyelashes bones, deformed bones. So here, now that I have this, let's resort that. Now it goes there. Okay, then if I select this now, and I go on, actually I want to deselect that one. Let's go on wave paint mode. Let's see my... Okay, this is the selection that I have, a vertex selection option. And let's use a... What is the name of that? Screencast. Yes, enable that. Alright, so I'm using a shortcut here, P, so I can... an O, but I'm not gonna use O, just P, the mask selection, because these are vertices only and not exactly faces. I don't want to use this one, I need just the vertices one. And so this is my vertex selection. It's mirrored, so it's not something about... okay, so to select the bone, I need to use this one. Alright, so we see that indeed there are mesh there selected, unwanted mesh. So I'm gonna invert, and I'm going to get wave 0 and shift K. That's it. And I'm going to invert again, P. Let's see where is the other, oh there, a top one. So this one also, P, invert, shift K. Of course we see here this is because of the subdivision, but you'll see here subdivision modifier, yeah, so no problem, right? Don't bother about this thing. Actually maybe this is because of solidify modifier. No, yeah, there's a solidify modifier which is affecting the lips and this part too, so doesn't matter, it's just one vertex anyways. So again, invert again, P, last of the top, P, invert, and shift K. Okay, Control I, P. Now let's see about these ones. I'm afraid they have the same issue, but now I have to change my selection here. So the bottom one, go back here, then I have this bone selected, right? Then P, Control E, shift K, that's right. Control I, oh no, P, select this one, P, Control I, shift K, actually then invert, P, last bone, P, Control I, shift K, Control I, P, and there we go. We solved the first things. I guess for the other side we'll have to resymmetrize, whatever, or it already gets automated. The wave painting should get automated because of the mirror modifier, and the bones, the naming conventions are correct. Oh, what's happened to this arm? This is horrible. Yes, this is something I was about to fix next. Okay, so now I need to go back on edit mode. I go back to start working on the top eyelash, and then so I need the bones. I'm afraid, yeah, so what I believe is that I've lost the original waves that I have here, so let's work on some wave painting. This should, okay, why doesn't, may I have something wrong here? Multi, auto restrict, I don't know, but the mix, multiply, mix, no, I don't use multiply, it was mix. Oh, so it should be something like that. There's no reason why this part wouldn't be red for this, yeah, so maximum waves. And then of course then we can get something like that. Unfortunately this takes a little of patience to solve totally. So let's get some generic wave here from top to bottom. I mean this the inner part from outer part to inner part. Then we're gonna just make some smoothing, and yeah, that's it. Then I need to repeat this process for each of the deformed bones. I need to use this the masking tool, right? The vertex selection. Otherwise, I will be painting everywhere. So this is why I'm using this vertex. I've saved these hide vertex groups. They are not for mask modifiers. They are for just for organization. So here we can, you see, so as I readjust the waves. For some reason I got the waves messed up. I believe it was some crazy normalization, maybe some operator that I may have used accidentally. And now yeah, so now all that minimum stuff that happened there on maximum, it isn't required, because now I have more waves, more string, more waves, right? So on the eyelash mesh, so the form bone doesn't need to go that far away. The eyelash mesh will respond properly. So for the middle, same thing, is something that should be okay like that. And maybe I need more. No, it's confusing, because you need, I see I want to push from that direction. I cannot find the direction that it will. So for this case, let's just augment here, get some maximum, and then instead of using that one, let's just use the blur thing, right? Yeah, and the blur is too strong, so let's, and that should do, I guess. Yes, let's assume this is okay. And of course the last one, and this, yes, this is takes some time, because exactly they are, because it is shared influence. For the final result we need, this is why rigging can be so complex sometimes. There are many parameters, factors which affect the final output. So in this case the wave painting, because they are sharing waves, I need to solve for the whole eyelash, top eyelash, I need to solve the wave painting of the 3 deformed bones to see the final result, because there are tiny influences there which play a role in the final organic shape. And if I didn't do this kind of process, my final result might not be that good. So shared waves can complexify the process, but it's also a powerful solution, alternative. I like to use shared waves. In my experience, it's good, but I know it creates some additional complications, right? So now what's going on is that because I have changed the waves, this bone, the bone constraints also play a role. So it is working like a helper bone in some sense, right? So I need to now go on here, and this is how I made the automation for this rig anyway. So here's the, yeah, so it is a top deformed bone, so it doesn't need to go to be so less minimum. So I just have to get somewhere. Oh, I see it. I remember that this was like the original value. So maybe, okay, this makes sense. So maybe what happened is not that I need to reassess those things. Maybe it's just those settings. Maybe what I need to do is, maybe it was just the waves. Of course, it's not exactly the case, because I can't get exactly the waves back as they were. But then approximately you see that approximately the rig works for the eyelash. You see now this looks much smoother. Oh yes, it is work. So it was apparently it's just wave painting, and it makes sense. Oh, that's a good thing, a great thing, because if I had to change all those things again, it would. You see, it's not that difficult, but it takes some patience and trial and error. So I can probably make some few tweaks but so far it's as it is, it seems to be fine. I think this is not pushing that heavy. Oh, this is the bottom one. Yeah, so maybe more waves or more, although this is not that bad actually, it's an interesting shape, but it's not exactly, yeah, so maybe this could go, I could load actually a previous file. Let's just take a look. Of course I'll have to see what I have here for the first the armature. Okay, it's here. Then let's go for the here. So what is the middle one, right? I think it's this, the eyelids. Yes, this one. Okay, so what is its negative 0.7, positive 1.5. All right, memorizing these things. So negative 0.7 for minimum and for maximum 1.5. All right, it's okay. Maybe slightly better, and if we rotate, but yeah, you see the wave painting there. There's another factor, which is the original shape of the on rest position of the eyelash itself. So I can tweak this. It is very cool. No proportional editing, because this might affect connected only. Yeah, it is connected mesh. I don't want to, so I can make these tweaks here. And then of course there's rapider, faster way to see in real time the change, but I don't remember right now. This is the bottom, this is the top. Right, so let's see here. Yeah, so apparently there are some waves there that I'm not very satisfied with. It's not pushing that part well enough, neither the other one. So let's save here and let's try to go on wave paint, go on. Maybe it needs more waves. Yeah, I see. Yeah. Actually, I paint some things that might be wrong, so let's instead tension. Let's go here. Let's go on again. Take back our. Well, actually, let's just pick this one. It's the top eyelash. Then here and here and. Okay, select the bone. It's this one, top. Yes, top for the middle. P, and let's, yeah, here. That is the way to go. So this influence should be higher because this is the central one. Okay, so this is important. Except on the extremities, it doesn't need to be that heavy, of course, otherwise it start to get strange, right? So but it should have indeed much larger influence on the middle area. And here I can reduce it probably. I don't know if this shape is adequate, and here also, let's see. Yeah, alright, this might be good enough. Let's then pick that. It's look a little stiff now, but yeah, it looks too stiff now. This one is stiff too. I haven't touched the wave paint of it, so you see that this works, yes, but it's not the idea. The idea is that the eyelash is more dynamic, so wave painting in this case, all right, we need to reduce this. Oops, I don't want to lose my selection. Okay, so no, it was not that thing that so this and this, there's a long time I don't. Oh, I see, look at those waves here, too much heavy waves in the middle. Alright, so this cannot happen. Right, so we get this, and here we can take it off a lot, and okay, let's see. I should also make some change to the appearance of these bones, right? Because yeah, or just change the colors, I don't know. Let's just make these ones smaller then, so I need to find better presentation for all that. But let's see. This kind of change is automatically symmetrized, if I remember properly, the B-bone scale. Alright, and remember we can also rotate for more transforms, deform for... Yeah, so it's not behaving very well as it were. Let's reset everything. Let's see again. Okay, this is actually fine for... No, not fine. It's interesting, but it's not good enough for me. Yes. So I think more smoothing, right? So let's go back on wave paint mode. Let's pick these things, and so I believe what I need to do is smooth out, have a strong smooth out. I remember that I used this, but you see, instead of the smear tool, instead of pushing it disrupts. Now it added, yeah, so it's strange how it behaves sometimes. So let's add more again, like that, and then blur. This is what I did in the beginning, but it wasn't satisfying, so I really don't know why this thing now is not working as it's maybe this one has too much wave there, right? So I had this problem solved, right, in the past, and it didn't seem so difficult. Alright, let's give some... No, not that. And there is something about this thing that I don't understand properly. Oh, because this thing was... Alright, this is not so dramatic. Okay, that can work. I think I've picked the wrong bone for scaling. This one should be... Why changing this b-bone scale here would change the slide. Oh, I cannot. This is not pose mode or edit mode. This is why. This would be like scaling the bones. So this is the bottom one. So this one should be the same size as this. I'll fix that later. And this one should be the smaller one. Alright. Yeah, let's do something like that for now. Now it's clear which one is what. And the larger one, because it's the middle, so that's some reference for me. They cannot be too small, otherwise they'll be hard to pick. So let's go back to okay, wave paint mode. Let's save and let's see about this wave painting. Okay, so here apparently this seems to have too much wave there, or this that is lacking wave there. I think that's the case. This should have slightly more waves going to that direction, and it's like it's protected. Something going wrong there. Okay, now it's too much, of course. Let's try to... maybe now the shape is really a problem, but there is the pose as well, right? So let's see. Yeah, so maybe this sounds overly complicated, right? But it's... I've already solved this many times, so it's just that there are some time I don't deal with that particular problematic, so now I'm a bit confused the best solution. But eventually I'll find it out. Even if it takes more than one live stream, but I think this could be relatively fast if I just pin down the actual problem. It could be just wave painting in this case. Something that may be related to all those three bones painted all together. So maybe this one we could try, right? We could try different setups, like we could have more influence from this other to the inner side. So and instead of taking off all the waves, we don't take off as much waves as we did before. We keep some stronger influence overall between the three bones, so their dependency would be larger, huger. So for example, here I can do this same thing, so let's get lots of waves to all the top eyelash. Then of course, especially in here, then we start to gently take off waves from the extremity, the outer one in this case, and towards the middle. So this will create a better ratio of wave paint on all this mesh. And then for the middle one, which is the Joker, it's the jack of all trades. What I mean by this is that I hope I didn't paint wrongly. No, it is correct. Okay, those are the bottom ones. Is the so now the middle one. Let's see what it's doing. I didn't. Okay. So apparently it's okay. It's not pushing as I want, right? But then we have the rotations here. These interpenetrations when happening is norm, because look at the position of the bone. This bone was supposed to be outside. This is why I wanted another the other bone constraint that was, however, causing issues to the posing, the limit distance, right? It was limiting the flowiness of my posing. This can be complicated to find a proper solution, but yeah, now it seems to be okay. But I haven't touched these waves yet, retouched this one, so let's try it again. I'll add now, because I'm not using auto normalize, I can totally do this without destroying what I've worked on the other deformed bones. So I can just do this and then start to take off some waves on the extremities, more here, and then same here. Oh, there you see, that was relevant to take off, and then start okay. Let's see now. No, still strange, ugly shapes here, not very smooth. Yeah, this is not, definitely this is not something I believe about the, oh yes, it can be actually. Yes, it has some relation indeed with the, you see this bone should be up at this position, so maybe I will require to make these adjustments here after all. So let's, why the minimum is so minimum? Oh, I see, but it's local space. Okay, anyways, let's, you see, it needs to go 2 up for the deformed bone to go up, so instead I want it to go, okay, now it's a bit better, and maybe the minimum doesn't require to be that minimum. So now, no, now the minimum is too low. Okay, so it's relative, right? So as this will be the eyelash closed more or less like that, and it doesn't feel like the eyelash is going too much to the bottom, so this requires a lesser negative value, so something like negative 0.8 sounds feasible for this eyelash bone, at least on this wave painting. Of course the rest is not deforming very well, and then it now let's see, it was, I remember it was like that before. Okay, this is workable, but why it is taking so long to go up? This is strange, but okay, eventually it goes up, but it's a sluggerish all this way up. Something's not normal here. And of course, if I have something symmetric like that, yeah, so could it be possible that the oh, I see, of course, yes, so my mistake, after the changes I've made to the rest position of the eyelids, yeah, so there's another problem here. I totally forgot about that, but that make parts of the when I retake stuff, especially after so long, after some time. Of course, the rest position for the control bones and the deform bones, and probably even the yeah yeah, it's all messed up, right? This is the wrong rest position for this bone. So as soon as we go on pose mode, these transforms, they already take place according to, so I need to, well, the eye contour I have fixed already, so, and maybe no, the eyebrow are also messed up, right? This is new position, so I need to reposition those bones. And yeah, because there's a disconnection. So as we go back on, this is why it was so difficult actually. Things are, so as I swap here to pose mode, I was trying to fix stuff here on pose mode, while already there are some huge disruption from the rest position of these bones to rest pose on pose mode. So if I reset the pose, so this is the rest pose. Okay, you see the bones, the eyelash bones are already transformed, but even the start position of the eyelash bones is wrong. They should start already in the same position of here in principle. And maybe not, I'm not sure about that, but in principle yes, for this rig. But most likely these eyelash bones, they should be following this curve. Alright folks, so I found the culprit, one of the culprits of all this messing up, so I have to fix this part of the rig, so I'll give it some time right now. I'm not gonna fix right now, but I found the culprit, that's a great thing. And for the next live, then I'll attempt to solve this finally. And then I think everything will be simpler, lesser obscure. So the eyebrow and the eyelids and eyelash bones rest positions, all this should be reassessed. The bendy bone splines, yes, and then the bone constraints and the deforms will properly work. It will be easy to retake everything. That's it folks, thanks for watching. See you again next time. I'll be back probably today, I guess. This is just a pause that I need to make. See ya folks, take care. Happy blending.